according to the cloud. All right, we are going to get started with introductions this morning for Speaker Friend Friday. And Kirsten, you are up first today.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kirsten Rourke, CEO and founder of Rourke Training. And everything that we do is all about ongoing mastery of presenting and speaking. So anything that moves our skills forward and helps us grow. We are irreverent and mouthy, just a heads up.
Kat Frey, you're up.
Good morning. My name is Kat Fry. I am the owner and founder of Oxygen Coaching Group. We are a group of trainers, coaches, speakers, and authors working with companies and their leaders to clear their vision and goals to ensure that they get where they want to go and are working with the right coaches. And I'm with Kristen. We're also extremely irreverent.
Melissa, you're up.
Good morning, Melissa Bergio, Mergio Enterprises. We are launch planners and strategists. We help people get their next product or service launched out into the world with less stress and overwhelm. And I would like to say maybe I am irreverent as well. Great to meet everyone.
We have a theme. All right, Marcia.
I am Marcia Donziger. I've never described myself as irreverent, but maybe I should. This is my first meeting with everybody. My full name is Marcia Donziger, and I'm a consultant and coach and new speaker. So this is my first call ever with you. So I'm looking forward to it.
Welcome, welcome. All right, Julie, you're up.
Your data's talking. Are you listening? I'm Dr. Julie Allig of JLA Analytics, and clients are calling me now for my P-cubed analysis, predicting profitable products as we head into 23, because life is better when you know your numbers.
Excellent. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly. Natsuyo?
Yes, you got it right. Well, hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Natsuyo Lopsetz. I'm brand new here. I'm Japanese, born and raised, and I work with global leaders who want to be heard and effective by communicating clearly across cultures.
Erica.
Good morning, everybody. Erica Holthausen of Catchline Communications. To earn a reputation as an authoritative expert, you need a strong body of work with a distinctive point of view. I help you develop your body of work so you can build your reputation by writing for high visibility publications like Inc., Fast Company, and Entrepreneur.
Excellent. Ellen Williams.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ellen Williams. I'm the Director of Advisory and ESG Services at Orion Global Solutions. Julie, I used to be the data chick, but now I help businesses with alignment of their business process and technologies.
Excellent. Pam?
I'm Sams, Jackson Samswell Strategies, behavioral financial advisor, international speaker, helping women secure their financial future so they can sleep well at night. And just to share, I know you said it was shout out, but I just got my first offer for next year in Paris in March. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Excellent. Congrats, Kristen.
Hello, friends. I'm the copywriting ghostwriter and podcast host. I help business owners level up with consistency and visibility using their most powerful and underrated tool, personal storytelling. Business writing services just got way more interesting.
Excellent. Kelly?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly Donovan Condren. I am producer, writer, and herder of cats at Rourke Training. And we know I'm irreverent, although I think I have to defer to Kirsten on that.
Lisa Griffith.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Griffith, Griffith Productivity Solutions. I am a speaker, productivity coach, and certified professional organizer. I help overwhelmed professionals dig out from the overwhelm in their inboxes and their offices and their calendars.
Victoria.
Hi, I'm Victoria Meyer. I am a B2B strategy and marketing expert, and I believe that value is in the eye of the beholder. Leveraging my years of experience with Fortune 50 and global companies, I help executives and individuals and companies create value with their customers. And I'm out of time.
Stephanie.
1/3 of Americans are reporting alarming levels of anxiety, threefold increase since pre-pandemic. I'm Stephanie D'Alfonso, and I bring the calm with simple brain-based strategies for my book, Goodbye Anxiety, Hello Freedom.
Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna Cravata, and I help authors and speakers craft their story through short videos, book reels, speaker reels, and the mixtape, and also create media kits and book plates and postcards and things like that.
Great. Laura?
Hello, I'm Laura Burford, and I help business professionals who already have their magic get better clients and build professional consulting businesses so that they can live life on their own terms.
Excellent. Keisha Marie?
Good morning, everyone. I am Keisha Marie Douglas coming to you from the chilly Tampa, Florida this morning. I'm the veteran wing woman, the speaker, the author, and now the mental fitness coach. I am building an online platform for active duty and for veteran women as they transition out of the service and back into civilian life. Thank you so much this morning.
Excellent. Anne?
I help people, individuals and teams find the courage to communicate about what they want to change. I work with teams with DISC and individuals. I do a lot of DISC, and I'm a certified Gallup coach, and I'm also a certified mediator helping with coaching and getting people to where they want to be.
Excellent. Connie?
Hi, my name is Connie Inukai, and I help people who are in the next stage of life find the next adventure in life, entrepreneurship. Thank you. And that's courtesy of Kristen Spencer.
Dr. Sandra?
Good morning. I'm Dr. Sandra, clinical psychologist and personal energy strategist, helping professional women connect with the resources they need to make that journey from burnout to sustained leadership and the impact that lights their heart and soul.
Julia?
Good morning, I'm Julia Geisman. I am an inclusion strategist, author, speaker. I'm hired by companies to create a work environment that attracts, retains, and engage employees, as well as increase their innovation and overall profitability.
Excellent. And for people who are joining us, if you put everything on gallery mode, you can see the timer countdown 15 seconds for introduction. We're doing as many introductions as we can fit in before 9 o'clock, then turning it into discussion time. Denise?
Good morning. I'm Denise. I'm struggling with allergies today, but I'm also a digital marketing advisor supporting women entrepreneurs in leveraging the digital space to build long-term relationships with their clients. And you can learn more about that at businessrelationshipsmatter.com. Thank you.
Mickey?
Hi there. I am Mickey Feldman-Simon. I'm a certified executive coach. I help leaders, including high potential employees to CEOs, overcome overwhelm, better manage themselves so they can better manage their people and build healthy and high-performing organizations.
Robbie?
Morning. I work with entrepreneurial women who are ready to grow their impact and income through a new revenue stream. I'm also a virtual event design consultant and executive Zoom producer, and I love sharing information. So check me out in chat.
Excellent. Vanessa?
I love helping longstanding brick and mortar businesses conquer their second decade of business without burnout, sleep deprivation, or overwhelm. I'm known as a business defibrillator. I serve as a speaker, strategy consultant, professor, and host of Entrepreneurship is a Marathon. Let's connect on LinkedIn.
Judy?
I'm about to become an international speaker because I'm going to India in April and I've made some awesome contacts. I'm a psychotherapist and speaker who helps leaders and organizations create positive vibes in 90 seconds using a powerful formula without the pain and frustration of losing control.
Julianne?
Hey, good morning. I'm Julianne Sullivan, and this is my first time here. Thank you, Ann Ryan, for the invitation. And I help companies keep good talent, get to good talent, and make sure somebody else doesn't steal their good talent.
Okay. Sylvia Scott?
Good morning. Whoops. Oh, good morning. I'm Sylvia Scott. I live in Colorado, and I am the founder of the Girls CEO Connection. It's girls creating entrepreneurial opportunities, enterprising opportunities, I should say. And it's for high school and college girls, but primarily high school girls, encouraging and engaging them as young entrepreneurs.
Leslie?
And I'm putting together
Sorry.
an event. Okay, go.
You're done. Leslie?
I'm off.
Hi, I'm Leslie Saul, an architect and interior designer with a small firm in Cambridge, serving New England and South Florida. I'm writing a book now on getting to the right.
Kind of lost you there at the last part, Leslie. I think you're
Getting to the right project.
excellent.
What I'm working on right now.
Christine Bees.
Good morning. I'm Christine Beasy. Hard to pronounce. No problem there. I'm the founder of Untangle Money. We help companies lower the financial anxiety of their female employees because we focus on women and money, and we reduce their financial anxiety by 30%. Thank you.
And Ryan?
Hi, everyone. I have a new intro, so I'm going to read it. Let me know what you think. Hi, I'm Anne Irene Ryan, a career coach and professional speaker. I work with organizations who empower their members with the tools and resources they need to lead and succeed. I also work one-on-one with clients in career transition. Happy Friday.
Sharon?
Good morning. My name is Dr. Sharon Grossman, and I'm affectionately known as the Burnout Doc because with my proprietary 7A solution to burnout, I can take you from exhausted to extraordinary in 90 days. Are you ready to design your life on purpose?
Excellent. Precious.
Hey, everybody. What if everything that you thought was wrong with you is actually what the world needs right now? Well, I'm Precious Williams. I am the bad bitch with the power pitch, and I can show you how to get paid constantly and consistently in media and on stages. So if you want to rock the party, check us out. I'm Precious Williams, proud founder and CEO, Perfect Pitches by Precious. Kick ass.
All right, Selena. We're getting toward the end of our time too.
Good morning, everyone. I am Selena Stone. I'm the owner and founder of Stone Consulting Services. I actually help entrepreneurs and busy moms create the systems and processes they need in their marketing so they can actually make more time for their families.
Awesome. Janine.
Good morning. It's been a while since I've been on video. I've been traveling, but I am Janine, your intercultural creativity keynote speaker, talking about the intersection between cultural competence and creative thinking. And I know a few of you reached out to me, so I'm going to get back to you, I promise, but I am finally home. Good to see you all.
Yay. All right. So we are shifting into question and answer mode, focusing on questions and topics of conversation that are helpful to everybody today. Regulars, let's keep the shout outs to the end. And if you have a question, if you have a topic you want us to discuss, use the raise your hand function. I see people have already found it. It's up top there. So we're just going to dig right into conversation. Judy, you are up first.
This would be very quick. I just want to make some connections with anyone who has connections in India. So that's number one. But number two, I have a tendency to, when I get excited about one thing, like this one thing, I'm going to India in April, that I want to make sure that I don't neglect the other local opportunities that I really need to be nurturing. So if anybody has any ideas, I know this is a very nebulous and general thing to put out there, but yeah, however you can help me to stay focused type of thing. And Janine, I do want to get with you and really be in tune culturally with as I speak to, as I'm imagining this is in 6 months, so I want to get ready now.
And of course, last week was the week that I brought with me a whole bunch of people from a speaking engagement I had been doing in India to last week's conversation. I'm looking to see if some of them are here today. They might be dropping in. You never know. I told them they were welcome to join anytime. But I think one of the things is it sounds like you're asking about keeping up communications on a regular basis, right? Do you have a newsletter?
That and just making sure I'm balanced to make sure I'm nurturing these other speaking engagements locally as well.
Yeah. Do you have a regular newsletter?
Well, not newsletter. I do, but I do have a regular list of on ConvertKit, I've got about 1,300 people that I communicate with, but I'm thinking that a lot of my people that have been with me for a long time, that they may not be my people for pitching, for speaking, but that might be a limited belief I'm believing about myself or this list.
Other people have suggestions for Judy? Do the whole wave at me, flag me down. But you have to have the hands up so you end up in my front row. Erica?
My favorite thing in the world has become my calendar. And I put everything, so I will block off time because I have shiny object syndrome too. And something comes up and I'm like, oh, I really want to dive into this. And sometimes I know the time is not right because I have to finish this other thing first. So I put that in what I call my parking lot. But then I also, when I have to balance things, I will get very intentional about the thing that I'm worried about ignoring and carve out time in my calendar every single week to focus on that. And then I really force myself to focus on those things and trying to get into the habit of holding the calendar sacred, because in the past I've just like moved my own stuff for something else. So put it in the calendar and hold it sacred. And if you have to like make it a bright, obnoxious color, do something like that. And that way you've got designated time so that that doesn't fall off your radar screen.
Love it. I mean, I love the terms parking lot and also sacred. So that's like really cool. Thank you.
Parking lot's really helpful because I have a lot of things in the parking lot that I want to pay attention to. And if I do that now, I'm going to, in the long term, I'm going to just like screw myself up big time.
Thank you.
All right. I saw Victoria waving at
Yeah.
me.
So my suggestion was just going to be use your excitement about this India speaking gig as part of your nurturing with other events, event planners and contacts, right? So you've got a story to tell about why you're excited about it, how you got selected, and how you, and it kind of just points to, hey, this is why I was selected, right? So you can use it as part of your nudge with other event planners, with other referral sources, et cetera. So be excited, but weave it in.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank
Brilliant
you.
idea.
Bobby?
Yeah.
For Judy, the main thing is to remember what you're really doing more strategically, that India is part of one of your part of your activities, but everything else, I mean, once India is over, then you have to think of what are you going to do next? So you got to think a little bit more long-term, because you have 6 months to prepare. It's not like you're going tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So just factor that in as opposed to knee-jerking with excitement.
I love it. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Everybody just moved. Robbie.
It's just really important for all of us to make sure that we're keeping our pipeline of prospects full, even though we're super excited about a specific upcoming opportunity, because your business is more than this upcoming opportunity. If this business is all the business you need for a year, and then you can rest for 6 months before starting again, that's different, but probably it's not the case. So you wouldn't be asking this question. So what would you normally be doing? If you need to find a new audience, if it's not the right people, we'll then start doing research calls with the new audience to kind of better understand what new offers you could be putting out. But I think sometimes we rest on our laurels and then we wonder what happens when we look up again after serving one client and there's not enough other people sort of nurtured and far enough along to be ready to actually become paying clients. And no one wants that gap in our business.
The other thing too is, let me build on what Robbie said, which is it's an excuse to get lazy. That you get so focused on one thing, then it's, everybody hates cold calling. Well, not everybody, I shouldn't say that, but it becomes an excuse.
A nicer way to say this is calling it a noble obstacle, which is that it seems like a totally legit thing to do with our time, but it's not the thing, the only thing that we should be doing with our time. But Julia, I could not have said what you said, and I think what you said is also true.
Exactly. In looking at the other side of it, because I think Robbie's dead straight in terms of going forward. Judy, you said, limiting beliefs in terms of your previous customers. One of the easiest places for us to sell a new concept, in fact, we just trained on this for the last week, is our existing clients who currently pay us money. They're the safest places. They have the lowest barrier of entry for us to go and say, hey, we have something new, because they already trust us. They already love us. So if you take that excitement that you have about something new and roll it out, they have the lowest barrier of entry for us to try something new. So even if they say no, it's a safe place for us to go and try and sell. So there's a whole quadrant out there. There's tons of training. If you're already on my site, then go see it. But don't say no, even if you don't have a newsletter, even if you're not releasing it, but go tell them about it, because they already know and love you, because they're consistently paying you. So go back and then go forward and have the consistency that Robbie's talking about.
Thank you. That's perfect. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. This is valuable.
All right. Wow, we're gonna move on to the next question. Malia, you are up.
Hi, good morning, Innovation Women. I have some news. So, oh, my phone. Okay, here we go. So I had a proposal review with 3M on Tuesday, and they want to move forward with my signature program. So I am super, super excited. This is my largest contract yet, and 3M is a big company. I just feel really validated. This has been a long journey. I'm just like over the moon. I'm a little tired. I just woke up. So maybe my energy does not match, but it was an hour proposal review sales call. So if anybody is interested in hearing how I prepared for it, what it was like, just ping me and I'm happy to maybe chat with you over the weekend. But yeah, I'm super excited. And now my goal is to get 3 more clients, like Robbie is saying, like, don't focus on the one big client. So my goal is to have 4 clients going into next year. And that will be it. That will be my revenue beyond my revenue goals. And it will allow me to start hiring a team. So I'm super, super excited. It's just validating to know that something that you've been building and working on is something that companies really do want and need. So I'm excited. Also, the Women in Tech panel, we're going to be sending out a survey for the ladies who are involved probably this weekend. I think I might be misspeaking. Kristen and Anne have done a wonderful job of jumping in and kind of leading the pack whilst I, emotionally give my attention to the proposal. So they might have a better update, but I know that that's going to be coming out soon. So I just wanted to let any of the ladies that's been involved with that know that that's coming. But yeah, I one thing that I do want to say about this group, entrepreneurship has been pretty lonely for me coming out of corporate space, having regular coworkers. And so this group has really filled that void for me. And I just want to say that I appreciate all of you guys for being here. I look forward to seeing your faces and hearing your stories every week. And I'm appreciating all the connections that I've been developing and the relationships I've grown from here. So just a wonderful Friday morning. Hello. Hi, everybody.
All right. Thank you. And Anne, do you have a question or a topic today?
Yes, I would like advice from folks on 3 questions, and it's probably easiest to just put your answers in the chat. So I'll ask the questions in succession. So 1, do you have a favorite payment processor? I currently use PayPal, but it charges me a 3% fee. So I was curious what other people use. 2, what have you found is the best AI for transcribing a Zoom call? Like, I know a lot of people use Otter, but I know there's other ones out there. So I was curious what folks use. And then 3, does anyone have any swag contacts? I'm thinking about putting together like a holiday gift package targeted for college students. So like their relative or parent could give them like a career coaching package. And I want to have an optional swag box option. I think it's going to have like a career adventure theme. I'm like very excited about it, but I'm not quite sure. I've never had to order swag before. So I'd love some help with that. So thank you in advance for all of your advice. Those are
all
my
right.
questions.
There's lots of stuff that's getting dropped into the chat there. Okay, Sharon.
Hi, so I would like to find out what people's best strategies are when you're going to a professional conference to meet the right people, to engage with people so that you're not just there consuming content and then leaving. Like really it's about the people that you meet and where you guys take it from there. I don't want it to be like a pitch fest, but I really want to just find out like what have people done that's been helpful, and I'll let you guys take the floor.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna like remind everybody, use the raise your hand function and then wave at me if you want to answer somebody's question. Because just the jumping in. So use the raise your hand function that puts you into the top row because you could be on my second screen. So, all right. So I've got a couple folks who have used the raise their hand function, gets them into the top row and are waving. So Kirsten, you're up first and then Vanessa.
So Sharon, what I actually did this week is I built a WhatsApp group for the people that I've met at conferences that are other speakers. And obviously you should not do this right out of the gate, but when you meet people, my secret sauce has been grab a coffee with them or go to dinner and then, you know, kind of connect with their friends and build that social group out of the people that really resonate with you at that event. So just find a reason to talk to one or two people after each session. You will find people that click for you, and then try to make a dinner date or a lunch date or something. And then after a couple of events, you're going to have the same pool. You're going to have a pool of people and they're going to have the same energy and passion that you do. And at that point, you kind of want to capture that. So I made a WhatsApp group and I've been pulling in speakers from all over for the learning and development world and said, okay, who's going to DevLearn? I already got a spot 6 p.m. at the Italian restaurant. There's 8 seats. Who wants them? And I'm having people come in. So that's my suggestion.
And I appreciate that. I have, just to also clarify, in addition to speakers, sometimes you go to conferences where the people that are attending are also really important.
Oh yeah, no, this is not just speakers. This is speakers and related people. Awesome. Because the speaker friends, like who are friends of speakers, not just speakers, are also really crucial. And in my case, like the woman who runs my webinars is a goddess. She's amazing. I would happily buy her dinner everywhere. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Vanessa?
All right. So pre-conference, look at the sessions that are relevant. Look at the sessions where think about who do you want to meet and where would they be hanging out, right? So if you're like, now, obviously, if you want to learn, also look at sessions that you want to learn in. But really, if you're looking to like, I want to meet intentional people, then see where they're going to be hanging out. 2, plan to attend and be around before the opening session. A lot of people want to say, oh, first session is at 9 a.m. Let me get there at 8:58. No. People are mingling before. Okay, so try to get down there. If there is a spot, depending on where the event is, there might be like a local breakfast cafe spot. That's where most of the people are going to be because they don't want to travel beyond to get to the breakfast. So plan to be at the local Starbucks cafe thing around the corner and just hang around, talk in the line, right? During the conference, be prepared to have your phone out and share your contacts. It's very common these days, at least, for people to share their QR codes to their LinkedIn. You know, people will literally like save each other's numbers if they connect on the phone, whatever it may be. So just be prepared, just have your phone out, really. And then also when you can, during those break things, you know, use the restroom, you know, do that. And then also try to like linger around as well outside of the room and try to find the same people again, if you can, that you've already met with the day before, because sometimes people forget people. And to the point where what Kirsten was mentioning, if you can schedule like a dinner thing with people as well, do that. Or if you can get yourself into, you know, you meet someone, they're like, I'm planning a dinner. By all means, go to that dinner. You never know who's going to show up. So that's what I would say there.
Yeah.
There's some great strategies that are popping into the chat as well.
Okay.
And I also put a link into Deb Eckerling. She's got a attend events, get ROI like class. So that's one thing. Robbie?
I'm so excited by this question because I spent over a decade before the pandemic helping people connect and network at conferences, and it's starting to come back. So I'm going to share some resources in chat, but I'm trying to think of my best tips. 1, write your email follow-up draft before you go to the event, any event. Really get clear on who you want to meet. Look ahead at who's going to be there, the kind of people, specific people, sponsors, exhibitors. Try to think about who you're writing this email to. You might have a few different versions. What do you want them to know about you? What do you want to invite them to do afterwards? And that way you'll have these little library, this little draft, and then make sure you schedule time after the event to do the follow-up, which most of us fail on. And so our intentions are really high with the idea of reaching out and connecting with people, but our follow through in the event and also after are not so good. But if you have time set aside and you have these drafts, you're much more likely to do that. Track your business cards, make sure you're carrying either a small bag or have a jacket or something with pockets, because not all women's clothing is designed with pockets, as you know. And so make sure you have a way to do that. Don't assume that the badge is going to have a pocket, because they lately have been moving to laminated ones that don't have pockets. Turn down the corner of the cards that you want to really make sure you follow up on. Have a pen, write a note in those cards so you can track them. And this is definitely something that relates to Western cultures, and I wouldn't do it all over the world. And then lastly, I have a tip about body language. People are going to be standing these tight clusters, these shoulder-to-shoulder huddles that are impossible to break into. I call those bagels. And if you want to be more approachable and find people to approach, you want to yourself turn your body language open when you're talking to people. So you create a space, that's the croissant, but also look for people who are naturally standing in that sort of space. My TEDx visualizes this for you if you want to check it out.
I've seen your TEDx. Thank you. That's awesome.
And Selena, are you answering a question too?
Yeah, I wanted to say, piggybacking off of what Robbie just said, I create custom landing pages. You can do this for free and multiple platforms. So when I know I'm going to an event, I will create a landing page, sometimes using a user code or whatever, but I will send that link as like a digital contact page, and it captures, I do like a free opt-in. And from there, I create Facebook groups. So if I'm marketing to a specific group of attendees from an event, especially with speaking, I'll capture my back-end marketing to those individuals from there. So.
All right. And Pam, you had an answer as well?
Yeah, what everybody else said, but Sharon, really be intentional when you go, if you put a certain amount of people that you want to meet, so, 20, 25, the thing that Robbie said, it's all about the follow-up. I usually send for those people that I actually met handwritten thank you notes, or thank you for meeting with me. It was a pleasure meeting. You stand out more that way, but of course the email sequencing also help with the follow-up. But be intentional about who you want to meet. Look at the list of people who are attending. Make sure you try to meet those people. And then even after the event, those people you didn't get a chance to meet, generally most people will have their email and their contact. I didn't get a chance to meet you at the conference. Can we have a one-on-one session? Just being open to a conversation.
Amazing. Thank you.
All right. You buried in suggestions there, Sharon?
I am buried. That's a good kind of buried. Thanks,
right.
everyone.
Also, Bobby, you talked about the QR code on LinkedIn.
Yeah. And
that's a really easy way of maintaining contacts.
Absolutely.
You have it on LinkedIn?
Yeah, there's
oh, go ahead, Bobby.
I was going to say, if you go into LinkedIn, just a quick LinkedIn lesson.
Yeah.
What you do is if you touch the search bar, a group of 4 little squares will show up. If you then touch the 4 little squares, it will open up your personal QR code. And you can also do a scan for the other person's QR code on LinkedIn. Everybody has a QR code on LinkedIn.
Is that phone only, Bobby?
It's, well, I'm hoping you wouldn't do it on your app or on your laptop.
Yes, you can't do it. You can't do it on your laptop. You can only do it on your mobile version.
But I think what she was saying is some people will actually use on their phone, not the app, but go to the LinkedIn website on LinkedIn. But yes, it is on the app on LinkedIn on your phone. And
Bobby, I also found it under add people.
Depends on which phone you have.
Okay.
There is also like a plus sign that you'll see inside a circle on some apps, depending on if you've been updated or not, but it's almost always in the search bar. All right. And I'm just going to remind everybody, if you can use the hands up and stuff and wait to be called on, it keeps it orderly. All right. Selena, you are up with a question.
Oh, there I am. Yes, I actually have 2 questions. One is I'm looking for a podcast anybody who has a podcast for women over 40, 50, and 60. There is a very niche specific group of audience that is looking for specific topics. And I happen to be in the ones with the 40s, but I also have other people that would like to be a guest on anybody who has a podcast for any women that is in menopause or empty nesters. So I'm looking for that. If you would please send me your suggestions or connections, that would be awesome. My second question is, I have a speaking event that's I'm helping with, and we're shooting for December. I don't know if we're kind of late in the ball at this right now, but I'm looking for a venue space that's going to hold up between 100 to 150 people in attendance. We kind of held off and looking for a venue because we weren't sure if ticket sales was going to happen.
Anywhere in particular?
I'm looking for, the first venue location is in Orlando, and the second one will be in January in Tampa, Florida.
Ah, well, we have some folks from Tampa. I know that. I don't know if we have any. Malia, are you in Orlando?
Somebody gave me a suggestion of like maybe churches or church space that might be vacant.
That's interesting.
I'm
yeah.
open to that too. So yeah, I'm just looking for space right now, venue space to hold theater seating style between 100 to 150. So that would be great.
Hi, Selena. I don't know if you can, Bobby, I don't know if I'm on your top row or not. I raised my hand. Let's chat, let's connect, because I am definitely in Tampa, and I know some people in Orlando. So let's connect and let's chat offline.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Yep. And definitely drop information into the chat as well, and do the whole, if you've got your hand raised, I can see you in my front row. I literally have like 2 rows across my giant screen of people with hands up. So, okay, Julie, you are up next.
Good morning, everyone. All right, so I need some groupthink here. So you guys know I'm all about data, and one of the niches that I work in is working with HR professionals, right? And teaching them how to use data. They tend to be people. I want to help them help their people by using data and being able to speak that language. So my question is, I was on a virtual conference panel this past Wednesday, which went really, really well. It was international. And I want suggestions. There are so many ways that I can use that to get out there, that I can talk about this. I can talk about using data and people analytics, things like that. There are so many ways. Which ones are the most groupthink? Which ones would be the most impactful to start building up my brand as being able to talk about something like this?
So I want to clarify the question. You're talking about what you can do to use that panel that you were just on to market yourself to get you on future panels?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I saw Mickey waving at me.
I interpreted the question a little bit differently. So I used to be a head of HR, and so I was trying to think of how do you talk to that target audience, and I'm not sure if that's what you wanted to hear as well.
More, how do I use this content and get the word out and kind of market myself or brand myself? That's what I'm.
So I'm trying to think of who you're selling to. So is it the HR people, or is it the CEO that wants to upgrade their HR person to think more strategically and understand what the stakeholders' interests are? Because what you're telling me is the stakeholders around them will want to hear more data, more statistics, right? Yeah. Like not just the people side. So you're helping them think more strategically. Are you selling to them, or are you selling to the CEO? And I think that often if you want the CEO to hear what you're saying, talk their language and use the takeaways from the panel so that they can see the added value that you're bringing.
That's a very good
disappeared from my screen. Oh, here you are. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And how would I do that? I mean, what method would I do that? I mean, LinkedIn, put a repost, do a snip of it was recorded, so a snip of the video, and make a blog post. I mean, there's so many different things I could do. I'm not quite sure at my stage. I'm a budding speaker.
I would try and think of all the different things that you could do on a continual basis. Like, what can you do this week, next week, but so that you establish yourself as the voice of the expert in helping the HR. I call it being more strategic, right? Whatever words that you want, but I will use, like, if that's the how you want to position yourself, what can you do on a continuous basis to take different things out of it, when maybe you're not referencing the one event every time, but building blog posts, doing different things, and then bringing up that event like every now and then. Hopefully there'll be others as well.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks,
Julie,
I'm happy to
Julie-
chat more if you want to. Can reach out
Julianne
to me.
had some suggestions too.
Yeah, I think whether you're a budding speaker or you've been doing it forever, one of them, there are a million places and ideas that you can have about posting and reaching out. I think the number one focus that you need to remember, all of us, is where's your audience? And I'll just give you an example. For me, Twitter sells books and classes. LinkedIn sells consulting. So you have to know where your audience that you want to target for this particular piece of
Yep.
your overall career is. And that's how you determine where you're going to post or whatever.
Thank you, Julianne.
Julia? Oh, we have Julie asking a question, Julianne answering it, and now Julia answering.
So if you use LinkedIn, keying off of what Julianne said, is there are special groups. It's like special interest groups that you can, that are very targeted, that you can post ideas, articles, replays, etc. And when you join those groups, you also have access to message those members in the group that you would not normally be able to reach out to directly. So that is another avenue. The whole game is getting visibility.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. And I would always say have a home base for your content. So if you have a blog, sending people to your blog, but you can promote your blog with posts on social media.
Thanks for that. I hadn't thought about the home base idea. Yes, I hadn't thought of it that way. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Julianne, you had something to add to that?
The only thing I want to add is about video. If you're going to post a video on LinkedIn or something, it should be like a minute, 2 max. Beyond that, people are not going to watch it. So if you're trying to get their attention, be specific and short and concise. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Moving on. Precious, you're up next. And are you still there? All right. Maybe we'll come back. Sarah, you're up.
Great, thank you. So I have 2 questions, and if anyone can answer either or. So one is, I just did a TEDx talk. I'm very excited about it. Thank you, thank you. And I'm curious if anyone has done one and has advice on the best way to get it out there, get as many eyes on it as possible. The second question is, I'm doing 2 talks for American Express coming up. And I just think it's such a great opportunity to, have this be a regular client. And I haven't had, because, they could keep me busy alone for 2 years with all the employees they have. So I'm just curious if any of you, how do you, besides just asking them after the talk, for feedback, and if they wouldn't mind referring you to other teams that, they think would, enjoy hearing this kind of content or whatever, tips on how to kind of grow your speaking business within a certain client and really, take advantage of that opportunity. So any advice on either of those questions would be great.
I have one piece of advice on the growing when you're working within a client. Find out if they have any events that it's possible for you to speak at that include other companies. So if, for example, they have a big user conference or something like that, because that gets you wide exposure even outside the company.
Okay.
So that's one piece of advice. Other folks who have answers to that, Malia?
Bobby, can you just give me 2 minutes, please?
Is this answering Sarah's question?
I think she needs 2 minutes before she can talk. I think you had called.
Oh,
on her
okay,
before.
got it.
So one thing that I'm doing and that I'm planning to do with all of my clients is in the contract, I have a clause that says if they book further services within a month of the contract being fulfilled, that they get a 10% off discount, just to put it in their mind that they can continue to work with me. Also, I have a call. I will be having a call scheduled with the decision maker that brought me in after the services are rendered, and just basically gonna recommend more services. So now that I've been working with you, I see that this has worked really well. I recommend this workshop. I recommend, bringing in this other consultant or what have you. And so I think if you have it in your mind that this is a conversation you're going to have with them already and drop those seeds along the way, then they'll be expecting it. So that's something that I'm doing.
Do you put that in the contract? Like, how do you plant the seed that there will be a follow-up conversation after the talk?
Yeah, so I do it 2 ways. For my signature program, I offer a results report, which requires me to do interviews and follow-up calls afterwards. And most companies want the report so that they can publish it internally for their newsletter or publish it on their media saying that they're doing diversity work. So that is set up in that offering. But if they don't go for that offering, then I would just tell the decision maker, like, I want to have a call with you after this is done. I want to make sure that, you received everything that you got. I want to hear from you directly. And then, we're building a relationship as we're working together. But I try to have that on the calendar before the services are rendered, just so that they know that that's coming. That's something that I've been struggling with, is really forcing people to put a call on their calendar, but it's really, really helpful.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, just to have it on there before the final talk. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely want to have it scheduled before the final talk. And if you can have it scheduled like the next day or very, very shortly after your talk, while they're still excited, there's still a buzz. That's when you can say like, hey, this was a great event. I noticed that your audience really resonated with this topic. I have an additional follow-up workshop. Is that something that you want to bring in? You are entitled to a 10% discount per the contract that you signed, and just, put it out there.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I add to that, Bobby? You're muted.
Robbie.
Okay, thank you. So 2 things. One, when I did my TEDx, I built a launch team around the TEDx the same way you build a launch team around a book or a launch team around a podcast. My goal was to get 100 people to write on the YouTube page a comment. So it wasn't just views. I wanted some kind of engagement. I wanted when people got to that page for them to see that this was a pretty lively talk. And I was aiming for 1,000 views because that's just sort of a quick metric. The next thing I know is like I got, an interview on a big platform and people started finding it. It doubled years later. The second thing I want to talk about was if you introduce your clients to 3 possible packages. So it's sort of sweet spot pricing. And so let's say you only came in for the hour. That's like the lowest package. You really were trying to guide them to the middle package. The third package has sort of a laundry list of all the other ways you can work with them. If you let them know all that up front, it makes the follow-up a little easier. It's like, oh, hey, that was a real hit. Perhaps we should do that follow-on business we talked about. Oh, do you want to do any of the interviews we talked about? Or did you want me to come and do some coaching with some of your execs? Like, you just you make sure they know about the full range of options before you book that first part. And one of the things I have found is I do events, and I've been able to go from the events department to the HR department to the fundraising development department and gotten booked in all of those areas. So if you have an in with one department or one ERG, it's possible you can get work from other parts of the company. You're already sort of an approved vendor, but it does take some networking and some introductions to make that happen. Definitely your hottest prospects are your current clients.
Thank you. Great advice.
Okay. I'm going to try and get to as many questions and different people as we can. If you've got additional advice, maybe drop it into the chat.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Precious, you had a question?
I did my speaker friend Queens. There were two things. Number one, and I really want you all's opinion on this, and you can drop it in the chat because I know I'm hella late. Number one, I had the opportunity, remember I told y'all that I was meeting with a professional MBA team about a new initiative that they were having, and had a great phone conversation, very impressed with my speaking prowess and the things that I've done. And then they dropped a number on me that I was like, I'm gonna politely get off this phone because I got to reflect on what they just said to me. And I told you a friend brought me in. So I thought about it and it just didn't sit right with my soul. But I was in Vegas, just Vegas is tiring and everything. LA was tiring. And so I had a phone conversation with my friend who was like the conduit. And I said, here's my problem. You cannot teach young people that the sky really is a limit and then pay the person teaching them that peanuts and just say, oh, but we're very impressed with whatever. I said, I can't go along with people telling me that I have to teach this, but it's really not true for your organization or a lot of them. So I don't want to be, we talked about it and I said, I respectfully declined. She said, but what about the kids? I said, you're acting as if I don't volunteer or I didn't come from a certain background. You will not guilt me into being the Black woman who has to speak at every event for free. I'm sorry, I'm not that shit, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is I walked away. They said they would double what they said. I expected that, but it's still not real money for what I supposedly bring to the table. I respectfully declined again. And just putting that out there, what do y'all take from that? And number two, I wrote this out, y'all, because y'all know your girl was, I am getting ready to launch something called, and not really launch, but y'all know what I mean, the Perfect Pitch Academy, right? People have been asking about it for years. And I put a little teaser out just to see what people were thinking. And so many people wrote me back like, yes, when is it? Can I sign up for it? And then my fear struck in. I'm being honest. My fear, like, oh God, we're rebranding. We're doing the new website. We're doing all this other kind of stuff. And I'm still speaking. And so I just wanted to put that out there. Am I the only one going through this when you go through the rebranding and you have your team doing all this other kind of stuff, and yet everything's not fully formed? That's where I am. And if I sound like I'm all over the place, it's because I'm extremely tired. But I thank you all for letting me just get this off of my chest.
Yeah. Maybe let's take one of those things. And I feel like lowball offers is a great topic. Leslie's waving.
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah. Let's try that. Like, let's talk about those lowball offers. And by the way, I'm dealing with this myself, so I've got a special interest in your answers. Leslie, you need to unmute, dear.
Precious, I'm wondering if your friend who was your connection had any idea what you normally charge. So I think that could have prevented the lowball offer if people knew in advance, give time in advance to get used to your number, and then they don't waste your time if they're not ever going to get close to your number. So the first thing in that particular case would be to go back to your connectors. And probably there is some kind of, one of the things that architects are starting to learn is not give it away free just to give your ideas about a project. So maybe there's some kind of a small fee that people pay to meet with you.
I have those things in place. And I think that's such a great question you asked. Yes, my friend did know, and she eventually admitted that they signed a bad contract and they were just hoping that I would come in because these are little black and brown kids and they need me. And I said, you will never guilt me. And because you signed a bad contract, you can't bring me in for that. So again, I respectfully decline. I've been doing this 27 years. She knew what it was, but I think she tried to, sell me with her for a very lowball offer. And even when they don't, said, yeah, you
were
know.
the sex appeal and she thought that was enough for you.
Yeah, or hoped it was by saying little black and brown kids.
All right, Malia.
So this is something that I've mentally prepared for. And then just like as an engineer and a woman of color, like I've just faced the devaluing my whole life. But my stance is like, if you want to bring me in as a DEI person, then you really need to make the investment into a person that looks like this in order to prove, like, walk the walk, not just talk the talk. But also I have standard rates and I have explanations behind my rates. And so that's something that I did on my proposal review. When I showed them the price, they were like a little sticker shocked. But once I explained the price, like why we price it the way we do, they were just like, okay, got it, not a problem. But then also, like, if they really can't afford you, maybe offer them like licensing to a recorded version of what they're trying to get you to do in person. So if you happen to have a recorded version, you can sell them licensing access to that, so that the kids can still get it. They can have it for a lower price, but it doesn't take any time off of you in order to service them. So you could still accept a lower fee, but it is for a lower grade of service. So that's my thoughts.
I think that's a great idea.
I thank you, Malia. I didn't have a problem with rates or anything like that. I choose to say, no, I'm not licensing anything to these people. And the rate was $750.
Oh,
no, ma'am. It doesn't matter what you say. I'm not
What?
And y'all already know, Bobby knows what my rates are. This is nothing new. Like, and I'm not a DEI practitioner, which I think as a Black woman, people always assume. I'm like, I'm not. I am pitching and communication skills, sales, and that. So again, I'm not DEI and I have mad respect, but I can't teach it. I'm a case study. So thank you, Malia, but I'm not licensing nothing to these people. And it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. So no, we're not doing that.
Oh, it's very interesting. I'm dealing with this right now where I have offered a certain rate to a nonprofit organization, one that I believe in, one that I support. I gave them a very, very low rate. And all of a sudden there is a corporate client that they also work with basically coming in and saying, this is the rate we want as well. And I was like, what? No. No, sorry. But
they're not a
yeah.
nonprofit.
Yes,
Sorry.
exactly.
Oh,
exactly. Leslie?
I also want to say there are a lot of us who work, our clients are in the nonprofit sector. So we limit ourselves to one pro bono project a year. And Precious may or may not want to do a pro bono job a year, but we feel like it's a little bit of giving back. But we have a lot of nonprofits especially in the greater Boston area, that have enough money to pay you to do professional services and from whom they expect professional services, not your second tier work because it's a discounted rate for nonprofits. So I think that just because you're a nonprofit doesn't mean you get a discounted rate. Just let's start right there. That's all I wanted to add.
And Bobby, if you do discount a nonprofit because they're a nonprofit, still put in a contract the regular price, but just
Yes.
add the discount in there so that you can write that off on your taxes.
You
So then
can't
it-
write it off if you're cash basis.
That's
different.
that's
Oh,
not
yeah, right. Oh,
always-
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But either way, they can see your standard rate and they know that they're getting a discount because they're a
Oh,
nonprofit.
it was very clear.
Yeah.
I
so then
just
the
think they
corporate-
mentioned it to the wrong person.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I want to add one comment to it. We were negotiating for a speaking just a few days ago. And the woman on the other side said, when you are sending the price, remember that if you are money gouging, I will know that and I will not talk to you again. How do you deal with those kind of direct messages?
Wait a minute. They're accusing you of money gouging?
No, even before we have sent anything to them, this was just what they need. Okay, we did not even put any money out. They said when you are sending the fee proposal, remember that if you are money gouging. So that was that was
sounds
a
like
one
that
way
sounds
to
like one
avoid
of the
that-
yeah, I'm gonna actually jump in on that one
Yeah.
and say that one of my sales consultant friends has said that you don't send a proposal until you've actually agreed already on the price.
Yeah, and we were asking them again and again what their range is, and like, no, first you send us based on what you think you want your value is.
Yep. And just to clarify for everybody, what I was doing was allowing the nonprofit to include Innovation Women as a benefit for their membership. And their membership price tag was lower than what Innovation Women usually charges for a year. But I wanted this particular organization's members in Innovation Women because we don't have any of them. And we've had requests for a certain group. So that is why that particular group got a lower price than I would ordinarily do for a membership for a particular group. So
And I think the answer though for this is that you look at what everyone pays. So Farzana, I had a client who actually put it into the contract that we could not charge him more than any other client was being charged. And so these are our standard rates. It's in every proposal. So Farzana, I think if you explain that it's the same rate that everyone's paying, how is that money gouging? Even if it's too much for them, you have to explain that to them, that until they define gouging, it's a very insulting comment to give to you, and maybe you're uncomfortable working with them. Turn the tables.
That is
Yeah.
exactly what I thought, that this was insulting and this was bullying.
absolutely. I don't think that's a client I would want. You know, if that's in the pre-conversation, how will they treat you when you're locked into a contract?
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. I'm gonna try and get to some new people here. And Kristen Beezy. Oh man.
Yeah, don't worry. It's spelled like Reese. No, I say it rhymes with easy, but when I was younger, that one had problems too. I have two quick questions. If anybody has resources where I can look at them, we don't have to answer them on the call, just pop them in the chat. I noticed when I connected with a lot of you, it automatically asked me to join your newsletter, which is very cool. And I was just wondering how you did that. And then I really want to put the badge, I think with Innovation Women, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I can put a badge on my LinkedIn page. And I've been searching for a while. So if anybody has figured that out and has a good resource that I can read up on, because I've looked at a bunch and they're like, they basically boil down to, you should use badges. I'm like, I know, but how do I get it on my LinkedIn? So more admin, but love this group. Thanks for all the recommendations. Love hearing all the suggestions. It's a lot, but it's fantastic. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to actually echo Erica that I had no idea that when you connect, it actually asks if you want to sign up for my newsletter. And I also had no idea that when I started a newsletter on LinkedIn, it evidently sent out messages to everybody who follows me automatically. And I had no idea that it did that. So it's like everybody in the universe got an invitation to follow my newsletter. And I will say that in the first week, the number of subscribers to my newsletter just went from like 0 to like, I don't know, a couple thousand. It was ridiculous. Robbie, you're
Yeah,
waving at me like you know
ju-
about this one.
Just the LinkedIn newsletter, that first week is so like that is a big push. They don't do that push all the time for you, but I do think to Christine's point, I think it's basically if you connect with someone, the invitation for the newsletter, they're basically going to send the invite once to everyone. And if you are then joining after, they're going to send it to you once after that. So that's all automated on LinkedIn side. So if you don't have a LinkedIn newsletter, it's worth putting time in, even if it's something you only do like twice a month or something.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's I was shocked at how fast the subscriptions like filled up. So it was pretty good. And did you have another question there? I'm so sorry.
Badges.
Oh, the
Is there an
badges.
Innovation Women badge, and how do I put it on my profile?
There is an Innovation Women badge that's included in the speaker newsletter every week. So it is literally like go in and grab it from the newsletter. And if it makes sense for you, it does not make sense for everybody, you can add Innovation Women to your LinkedIn profile if you need the words and the title public speaking on your LinkedIn profile or public speaker on your profile. You can connect to us like another job. And Anne is waving at me frantically. So go, Anne.
That's my best dance move. Christine, I help people make LinkedIn profiles all the time. So you have a couple of different options of where you want to put it on your profile. So I sent you a private link to schedule just like 15 minutes with me, and I'll do my best to help out.
Awesome. Thank you. Fabulous. All right. Mickey, you are up.
Okay. By the way, Anne, I'd love to chat with you as well about that. So I am talking at the Maine's Women's Conference next week, and I wanted to be able to gather the emails of the women at the session and gather their feedback. What I worked out to do, and I'd love to hear if you have a better way of doing, is putting, I created a survey in SurveyMonkey and a QR code that I am not sure if they can actually capture it from the presentation. So I printed out little ones that I can hand out as well. What's a better way of doing this?
I will point to our friends at Talkadot.
In person, yes, I'm talking in person next week.
Yeah. I will point out our friends Talkadot. We have a link that is in your speaker newsletter to them, but they do have a free offering. I think it allows you to collect up to 160 people. But what it does is it generates a QR code that allows you to put it as basically your last slide that takes people to a survey. And when they fill out the survey, including their information and do they know anyone else who wants you to speak, they get to download something from you. It could be a checklist or a white paper or, something of value. But it's a great way to kind of collect people from the audience. I will say that in the past, long ago and far away, the clipboard method definitely works pretty well. And if you're at an in-person event and you don't think that the people in the audience are QR code ready, you can just literally have a email newsletter sign up that you give to the first person in the first row, and it goes snaking through the audience while you're speaking. And sometimes it is particularly effective. I have walked out of events where, there were 50 people in the audience and gotten like 49 signups. It's absolutely bizarre. Marcia, you had an answer?
Yes, I just had my first experience with Talkadot yesterday. I spoke in front of an audience of 150 people. I put the QR code on the screen, and I already got 34 people that signed up for my newsletter and went through, rated and reviewed my talk. I have all these testimonials. I got 100% that they would refer me to someone else. And so I'm really excited about it. I just tried it for the first time yesterday. It's free to try it. And then I don't know what the cost is to have an annual, but I think it's pretty reasonable. And so I'm blown away. I did not expect much because I'd never used it before. So I recommend it.
That's awesome.
Thank you,
Yes.
Marsha.
Yeah,
And-
Talk
and Bobby, I've
Talkadot
done-
allows you to connect or collect testimonials as well and connections.
That's part of the idea that I put in the questions in the questionnaire, and but we have done the pen and paper and all the different things. I thought it was old fashioned, and I was trying to move forward from that.
I also used it for the first time, and people had problems for some reason with downloading the free
Downloading?
gift. Huh?
Oh,
With
okay.
that, and being able to get the free gift. And I need to talk to them about that.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, there is a lead magnet at the end, and that's the whole purpose, that they would fill out your 2-minute survey, and then you give them some incredible like resource at the end. It could be a video or a PDF.
Right.
Another thing I did is I printed out bookmarks with the QR code, and I put those on every table. So in case they like couldn't catch my screen with their phone, the screen wasn't going to be on very long. So I said everybody has a QR code on their table and they could take it with them. And so maybe that helped a little bit too. I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Other suggestions? We're at our end time here. If you guys want to save the chat, if you've got a 10 o'clock conversation, go into the chat, click on the 3 dots there, and you can save the chat as a file to your desktop with all of that great information. Kirsten?
So what I just did at a conference was I go in 10 minutes early, set up, get my mic, put on music, and put up a slide. And the slide has my picture, my information, QR code, and then below that, a bit.ly link for people who find the QR code to be not their thing. And then that's up there for 10 solid minutes. And when I come in, I introduce and I'm like, I am your host for today, and we will be doing drinks on the Lido Lounge. There will be shuffleboard. By the way, there's a QR code, and then start my stuff. So you can have it up there in the pre-session on your content, and on virtual, same thing. Lead off and have it right there, and then just point it out and be like, okay, everybody, grab your phones, take a picture. Awesome. Now let's move forward.
All right.
Thank you. I have it on my end slide with the thought that if I want their testimonials and their feedback, that it's there. And then while I answer questions, I'm going to keep that up there. So it's on for a while, but thank you for that.
Yep. All right, gang, we are at an end in terms of our time together today. If you have a question that you didn't get a chance to ask today, bring it back next week. I'm going to try and get people to put their questions into the chat so that we can kind of be like really super efficient in asking questions and sharing information. So have a great weekend, everybody, and we will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh. And stop recording.